Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're just going to have a couple of guys waxing intellectual about what's going on in the wrestling world. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by Tom Lavelle. This is the Working Perspectives podcast, Wrestling Perspectives. Tom, how are we doing?
Doing good.
Glad, good, great, wonderful. Well, in case you guys are wondering, you can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe. We got 4 words for you. Please like and subscribe. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspectives. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, so let's start it off. We're going to go give a little recap to the Revolution pay-per-view. Honestly, thought it was a really good show. Thought all the matches were really good. One thing I didn't like is it was fucking really long. So, for those of you listening, we did do a watch along. We will be doing a watch along for Mania as well. And hopefully for Double or Nothing, which is the next AEW pay-per-view. But yeah, it was a long one. A lot of good matches. Liked how they kick, really liked I liked all of them, really. But yeah, really just, it was a little longer than we used to. If you check out our Twitter at Working P Pod, we have some of the let's say the botches or bumps that didn't look good, that were a little So yeah, check them out on our Twitter and let us know what you think. But what did you think of the pay-per-view, Tom?
I thought it was good. I think people are like, I was really excited for the pay-per-view, the card and everything like that. I think when we were talking about it before, we did mention how many matches were on the card, and we were surprised about that.
Yeah.
And it went way long. I would love a wrestling company to commit to 3 hours pay-per-view. And if you don't make the card, you don't make the card.
You got to have a good storyline to make the card. And if you have the title, it needs defend the titles on the card. I mean, if they got a good storyline, but usually these ones they do a pretty good storyline with the titles. But, it's tough to have a card without Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to have a card without CM Punk now and the Bucks and all of that. But, even the Bucks are in a title match. But really like the dog collar match. Loved the Wardlow turn. Loved how they did the Wardlow turn. I liked the Jericho. I mean, if you saw now on Wednesday, there's a new faction, the Jericho Appreciation Society. So they turned on Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. So I'm thinking Eddie Kingston is going to team up with Santana and Ortiz, and now 2.0 and Daniel Garcia have joined Jericho and Hager. So they're going to be pretty good. I
like 2.0.
Yeah. I wonder what Sammy's going to do, if Sammy's going to jump in and do whatever. But super excited about it. And then, Moxley Danielson was good. Then you had William Regal, Steven. William Regal come out.
Who is Steven Regal?
I don't even know. It was killing me. But you had William Regal coming out, and then he cut a promo on Wednesday that was really good. Pretty good. He can talk, man. I forgot he could talk so good. But you know what I'm thinking too? Don't be surprised, because they've been putting the Gun Club over pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get, you didn't know, little road dog Jesse James to help out Billy Gunn. You know what I'm saying? So So yeah, what did you think? And then, oh, dude, the tornado tag match, woo,
It was awesome.
really good. Yeah, and then I mean, there's a bunch of really even Moxley and Danielson was really good, dude.
I thought Jade Cargill was awesome. I thought she was really good.
Yeah, the Jade Cargill Ty Conti was really good. You know, I like too. Did you see what they're doing with them now? So Sammy Guevara dropping the strap to Scorpio Sky. I mean, Scorpio Sky is just an interim guy, you know.
Right.
But I mean, maybe not. Who
and
knows?
Wardlow gets the shot at him. Maybe they're
Yeah.
just gonna pass it on to Wardlow.
Maybe we'll see. But dude, tell you what, Sammy Guevara, he fucking worked his fucking ass off having that title. I'll tell you, man, he wrestled every night, put on great fucking matches. And then I like what they did too. They're really pushing this Ty Conti, Sammy Guevara thing. I hope it works out for him. But
well, I think Sammy Guevara is my favorite AEW wrestler. I really like every match he's in. I like his gimmick. He might be my favorite guy there right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Cody Rhodes described him as this initially. He was a freshman on the varsity team, right? So at first, I think he was, but now he's been in it a couple years. They've given him the strap. He's really coming into his own. He left Jericho and, you know, he left those guys. So, I mean, you know, it was pretty brutal. Oh, speaking of, did you see Jake Hager's power bomb to Eddie Kingston? Woo!
Yeah.
Yeesh. We're gonna get a little more into broken necks later, but that was ugly. But okay.
I will say this. I liked the card. I thought it was a good pay-per-view. As we said, it was way too long by the end. I'm like, oh my God, I need this thing to end because I'm just exhausted. Maybe that's we're getting old. I don't know.
Maybe the watch along didn't help either. I mean, well, you know, we had to keep a lot of energy going and talking for the watch along. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Well, I think the crowd lost energy. I think the crowd wasn't as into it. But I would say that I think we got to pump the brakes on how great AEW is, you know. And I know I'm like fickle with this, but it's just something that I think they're awesome. I like that what they've created, and I really like what they're doing. I wasn't overwhelmed with that pay-per-view. Part of that might be I was so hyped up for it as well because of the card and how on paper how great it looked. I thought it underwhelmed me. Not saying it wasn't a good pay-per-view, but I didn't think it was all that.
It was good. But yeah, no, too long, man. Too long. You lose the crowd, dude. They were barely popping for the Adam Cole and Hangman Page match, and that was a great match. You know, I love to in the crowd there. This is Adam.
Yeah, that was cool.
So yeah, they were doing good, but like, yeah, they should have been. I mean, they were just spent. Spent. It's too freaking much. So yeah, but either way, so that was AEW. Then let's talk about the things that went on this week. We already alluded to the Sammy Guevara dropping the title on Dynamite, and then we had the debut of none other than Jeff freaking Hardy. And I'll tell you, someone sent me a picture today, and we'll put it up right now at the show. Her name's Sarah McCormick, fan of the show, listener of the show. But she sent me a picture, and it's like a meme of or not a meme. It's just a picture, but it says like "Save my brother" or "Dance," and it's a picture of two buttons to pick. Yeah. You know, so obviously we know what Jeff Hardy picked, but. Yeah, it's save my brother or dance first, you know. I mean,
yeah, what was that decision? Like, clearly just run out to the ring. Like, I mean, that was a fail right there, you know. Like, you can't do, don't get me wrong, the pop was big, it was still nice and everything was cool, but like, you know, nobody cares if you dance. Like, they see you come out, you don't need to do the thing right now, you know.
I agree. You definitely don't need to do it, right? Like, come on. You know, just come out there and let's go.
Let's get some realism here.
I think he's got, so I remember hearing Cody say this as well. I know I keep bringing up Cody Rhodes, but I remember Cody saying this as well, where there would be guys at AEW like a Dean Malenko and an Arn Anderson that he would categorize, said they had PTSD from working at the other company. You know what I mean? So I think maybe Hardy was just a little PTSD going on with like, just from being
That
at his
was he
former
had
place.
to do before, so he's doing it there now.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Excuses.
it is what it is. It
Yeah,
is
right.
what it is. So, all right. Either way, so let's keep it moving. So next on the list, we want to talk. They introduced Pete Dunne on the main roster again. He's been on the main roster before as Pete Dunne. He wrestled Enzo as Pete Dunne, right? Like he's been up on the main roster before, but I guess now he's not Pete Dunne anymore. He's Butch. It's Butch, and I like the gimmick that Sheamus has, you know what I mean? Like, Peaky Blinders type, kind of thing.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't like that. I mean, just call him fucking Pete, It's fucking Pete Dunne. You know what I'm saying? Right? He is a fucking star. So go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I call him Pete Dunne, and if the boys call him Butch themselves, you know what I mean? They can do that, and then maybe the name catches on. You know what I mean? Like, like if they said Pete, oh my God, it's Pete Dunne, and what's his and Sheamus kept saying, Butchie, come on, let's go, and it'd be like, that's what we call him. He's Butch, that's what, and so that's the way to go about that, in my opinion. Like, you don't just do this whole new like brand. If it sticks, it sticks. But he's Pete Dunne, aka Butch. Like when Triple H went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to Triple H, that was the guys just calling him that. They're like, oh my God, these forced name changes are
stupid,
annoying.
It's stupid. It's bad. Trivia question? Do you know who thought of Triple H?
I mean, I think it was HBK.
You're damn right it was. But I'm with you. Total bummer. I mean, I fucking love Pete Dunne. He is so goddamn good. The bruiserweight, he's fucking awesome. And dude, I'll tell you, talk about like body change. Like he is fucking yoked now.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's on. He's on all the plant-based protein, that guy, because he's a vegan. But nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. So, okay. Then let's keep it moving. So we talked about this earlier.
It was in that match. Now we have so after they introduced Pete Dunne, they go to a match now with the New Day versus Ridge Holland and Sheamus. And so they're having the match. There's a couple good things going on from the match. Eventually leads to outside the ring, and there's a belly-to-belly suplex, and it just goes wrong. I think Holland was supposed to twist with the belly to kind of throw him over, and he went straight over. Big E just, smashed his head in, and it was nasty. It was nasty to see. Like, you kind of, it's one of those ones you see and you immediately like, like it hits you. Yeah. So,
dude, I've watched it a couple of times and I'm just like, oh my God. Do you know what my wife said when I showed her that? I was like, oh, look at that. She's like, so what? Wrestling's fake. I was like, that's not fake. That's a mistake. And he's going to hurt.
Well, it just shows how in a second something like that can happen to these wrestlers, and it's very serious. So I think I want to say that maybe Dunn on the outside realized what had happened, and he got kind of in the ring. It looked like the finish of the match was different than what it was supposed to be. And then the medical staff came out and was taking care of him, and they took it off camera. Come to find out, he had broken two vertebrae in his neck. There's no spinal damage. He can still move his hands. So there's a lot of good news with that. Hands and feet and toes and everything like that.
Still
super positive. And one thing I love, his positivity, but like when I first heard it, like we're big E fans. We're huge Big E fans. And so initially I was like, oh no, not Big E. Like I was legitimately concerned. Like I really hope this is okay. But if you look on social media, he's clearly one of the most beloved wrestlers in the locker room. Everybody, every company, everyone was reaching out, trying to help Big E. And it shows what kind of guy Big E is. And hopefully he comes back bigger and stronger than he was before. And
if he can come back,
he'll come back. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Still, that's fucking tough, man. Oh my God.
He'll definitely be back.
That one's like, oh, that one hurts, man.
He's gonna have a full recovery, or hopefully, and
yeah, I'll tell you, when he comes back, he'll get a big fucking pop. You know, it'll be almost
yeah.
like when leukemia got fucking Roman Reigns over. A broken neck got Big E over.
Well,
So
Big E's been over.
it'll get him all the way over. You know, when his comeback, when he comes back, like the pop will be massive. He's gonna get a big ass. Like, yeah, dude. Plus two, like when he won the title, that was like everyone was like, "Good, this is what we want. You're stepping in the right direction now. Go with some new talent. Give someone a shot. This guy's earned it." Like that whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, so when he comes back, I think people will be pumped. And I just, nothing but speed recovery because that fucking dude. Ugh, even thinking about it. Yeah. I mean, yeesh. But yeah, okay.
But not to get too like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be. Where does Ridge Holland go from here? I mean, they just put that faction together, and it looks like they were probably setting up for a feud with the New Day or whatever. But I mean, are they moving forward with him creatively? I know it was an accident, and accidents happen, but do they keep moving with that storyline, or is that now done? And is Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland kind of?
I mean, maybe they bring Woods in, and maybe it's Woods wants revenge or something. Like maybe one of them get revenge for what they did to Big E. They can spin it that way. Like, you took my boy out, now I'm getting revenge. That was my brother, and you didn't like. They could even put some realism with them. Like, this business is a respect business. You have no respect for your coworker, and you hurt him, and all this bullshit. Like, no respect. You didn't even apologize. Like, they could go that route. Like, there's a bunch of different routes they could go and keep the story alive and have, Kofi and Kofi and Woods kind of revenge. But dude, I mean, you could go a bunch of different places with it, but
yeah.
But dude, so wait,
go with it.
Dunn recognized he was hurt like right away and was like,
to me, that's what it looked like watching the match. It looked like Dunn, the finish wasn't what it was supposed to be. I could tell it was kind of like a hurried finish. Let's just get this over with. And then also, I think Dunn came in because you got to think about it. He took that fall. The ref is looking down from the ring. She's not on the outside, so she didn't like grab hands or whatever. I don't know if she noticed initially that there was a response. She didn't throw up the X. And so, God forbid, there's supposed to be something happening out there and someone grabs him or whatever. It could have been worse, but they seem to get him out of there without any further injury than what had already occurred, which is good.
Jesus. That's hey man, it's not, you know what it is? Like, you put your life in your coworkers' hands in there, and they've all talked about it, like the trust of like having another guy like throw you around like that. It's a big time trust thing. So,
well, I'm not saying it was 100% Ridge Holland's fault. Who knows?
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, we
they
don't
were
know.
Working together on that.
Correct.
But
it takes two. It takes two to tango.
I'm sure he feels awful.
Oh, he's probably distraught, man. He's probably absolutely distraught. So, okay. So, yeah, shout out to Big E, fan show, listener show. Hope you speedy recovery. So we got in 3 weeks, we got the Wrestlemania will be starting. It starts the April 2nd and April 3rd. We should be doing the watch along again for, if not both, one of those nights. We're not sure yet.
If you had to choose one night, which one are you going with?
Sunday. I mean, even though Saturday would be easier for me, like, because I have a kid, and then, you know what I mean? It's going to be a late show and all that stuff. But I don't know. But hold on, wait, there's only 5 matches each night
so far. I mean, they have to put the Usos in Nakamura versus Rick.
But still
on a night,
dude,
if they keep it that way.
If they keep it that way, that'd be fucking awesome.
They
like a short card.
They did that for Elimination Chamber. And
Yeah,
maybe that's the thing to do. 2 nights, 2 3-hour shows. I mean, that would be,
That'd be killer.
where it's at. But I think they got to throw, they're going to throw some more on there. We still don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins.
You know what's crazy? Like, before the pandemic, right? All of these matches are on one show. That's fucking crazy, right? Like,
yeah.
Because didn't the one have, like, in New York, wasn't it like 16 matches or something? It was crazy. But yeah, dude, you're just so exhausted. Okay, so let's go over. So I'll just run down the whole list on the Saturday night as thus far. So they're going to headline it with Charlotte and Ronda. Then they got Becky versus Bianca. Oh, actually, they'll headline it. Then they got Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. That'll be, their celebrity match that they do. They got Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. And then they got Kevin Owens with Steve Austin. We don't know what's going on there. And then
I'm hoping that's a setup to have a match the following night. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. And then they can put the Usos on the Saturday card. That would make sense because the Usos are they're going to be out there with Roman Reigns. So they'll wrestle Saturday and then be out there with Roman Sunday kind of thing. Okay. And then Sunday, so then we'll talk. What do you think about Saturday?
I think it's a good card. I don't hate it. I mean, clearly the women are going to be controlling that night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what Logan Paul is going to do. Hopefully it's not too much of a time there. And then what Austin's going to do. So it could be interesting. Hopefully it's not a 5-hour thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's 3 hours, if they do it in 3 hours, I'm happy.
Who's hosting WrestleMania this year?
I didn't see who's hosting WrestleMania this year yet.
Because wasn't it Hogan and what's his face last year? Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Titus. Is that what his name is?
Titus O'Neil.
Yeah. So they did it last year. So who's
you know what? They haven't put on there the match. I mean, you got to have RK Bro defend the tag titles. They're not on there yet. So they've got to go. And Seth Rollins is still a match that's not on there too.
Yeah. So. All right. So let's keep it moving then. So honestly, if they keep it 3 hours and they have some big pops and some fun stuff, who do you think will win? All right. So tell me who do you think is winning with Charlotte and Ronda?
I think Ronda.
I would say Ronda too, even though it sucks because Charlotte's the fucking best. And then what about Becky versus Bianca Belair?
I think Bianca wins.
What if they make it another fucking squasher? What? Dude, if they made it another squasher, then Becky's going to get the Sheamus business. Because I'll tell you, I think that's what killed Sheamus's push. Sheamus has won a Rumble and he's been a champion. Sheamus was over at some point, but when he beat fucking Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan in 28 seconds or whatever it was at WrestleMania, that's when people just started not to like him, not to despise him in a way. And he was hated for so long, and he had such a tough time, staying keeping his career going with he was with Cesaro and The Bar, which was really good. But yeah, he just had a rough going there for a while. But so I wonder, but if if they squash Bianca Belair again, Becky's gonna get shit on big time. Big time Bex is done. So all right, so let's keep moving. Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Who do you think is winning this one?
I mean, I think you got to let the celebrity win. I don't know if he kind of turns on The Miz. There was some stuff on Raw last week where he was not digging what The Miz was saying. There was some.
Oh, he wasn't smelling what he was cooking. Yeah, great joke. Okay. So then, all right, and then McIntyre and Happy Corbin.
McIntyre.
Yeah. And then KO Steve Austin.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just going to be a little argument, little punching back and forth, and then Austin stuns him, and that's it.
And then he sees him the next night. Yeah.
If they see him the next night, it might just be that.
Yeah. All right. So then let's move on to Sunday then. So Sunday, we have Roman versus Brock. That will headline. Then you have Edge versus AJ Styles, which will be good. Then you have Carmella and Zelina Vega versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, such a smoke. Then you got Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. That's your, celebrity gimmick. And then you got Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. So, okay, what are you thinking about this one? How does this card look to you? I think it looks pretty good. thus far, keeping it under 3 hours. Give them, hey, if there's 5 now, maybe they throw one more match on each one. Do 2 matches an hour, make them a little longer, have your gaga in between with your entrances and everything. Just, make it good, but give them a little time out there. What do you think?
I think there's probably going to at least be 2 matches on each night added, because you've got Intercontinental title with Ricochet. He's got to get a match going. And then you have the United States title with Finn Balor, and he's got to get it. So I'm guessing him and Damian Priest are going to have their match. And I don't know who Ricochet is going to be fighting.
Damian Priest.
And then I say, I like this card, Edge versus AJ Styles. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I'm looking forward to McAfee, Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory is a up and comer. I think he's actually going to be a star for WWE. And
they had a good little promo. They had a good little promo the other night on Friday last night. They had a good little fight gimmick,
Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville should be a quick match and should be entertaining enough.
I wonder if you'll see some of the other jackass guys,
Yeah, definitely. I think you will. And then I think Sasha Banks and Naomi win. I think Roman wins, and I think I don't know. I think I would like AJ Styles to win.
Yeah, me too. All right, nice. So, all right, cool. So like we said, we're going to try and do a watch along for, if not both of these shows, at least one of these shows on April 2nd and 3rd. So stick around for details and links and everything like that. And, we'll send it all out. But we're coming to the top of time, Tom. Anything you want to say to the listeners before we get out of here?
Yeah. Match of the week. My match of the week this week is the triple threat tag match. RK Bro versus Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins versus Alpha Academy. Monday Night Raw is an awesome match. If you haven't checked it out, the crowd's really hot for it. It went pretty long. It's a good match. Check it out.
Yeah, my match of the week is the triple threat tag match for the AEW Tag Team Championship with Jurassic Express, the Young Bucks, and Red Dragon, aka Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Great match, a lot of innovative moves, like couple false finishes, really had you going. Great athletic contest, really, really good stuff. So yeah, check it out. It was on Revolution pay-per-view. But all right, cool. We're coming to top time. Anything else you want to say to the listeners, Tom?
Nope. Glad you're listening. Have a great day.
So also for those listening, we're thinking we might do a caller to call in or someone to drop in, possibly down the line. But yeah, so we'll reach out and, follow us on Twitter and TikTok at WorkingPod to stay up on the stuff. But other than that, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspectives. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Tom Lavelle. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can get us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And we got 4 words for you. Please like and subscribe. This has been another episode of the Work Perspectives Podcast, Wrestling Perspective. Thanks for listening. Thanks. See you. Bye.